Well, hello there, and welcome back to episode 14 of my Minecraft 1.14 Let's Play. I discovered while I was setting up my sorting machine that if you put dragon heads in your hand, it looks like you're wearing them as mittens. So I thought that was kind of funny, and I figured I'd do my intro that way. It looks pretty funny this way, too, because you're staring down the barrel of a couple dragon heads. Anyways, I've got the sorting system all set up, so we can shove these dragon heads in there. And we saw these ones in the last episode, and let me go ahead and grab some scaffolding here. Where is scaffolding? There it is. There we go. So, as far as the issue last episode, at the end of the last episode, the issue was that the water streams were a little bit irregular, and it was causing the hoppers to have items go over them while they're in their timeout period. And I ended up getting rid of the water stream, at least from this point forward. So there's still a water stream down there into a water elevator, but then it drops it off into hoppers, and there's just a hopper chain all the way down here. It didn't make any sense to slow down the dropper down there. It made more sense just to, the hoppers are just more reliable. So that's what I went with. A little bit unfortunate, I wanted to use water, but hoppers have fortunately gotten a lot less laggy. So that's working pretty well now. So all the issues that I had at the end of the last episode are all fixed, and we've got all our bulk storage going on here, and then here's our regular storage, and this is one of the sorting systems where you have to keep an item in every spot of these items, the shulker boxes, so it'll sort into them. Not a big deal. You just can't ever take the last one. You just got to put one back if you grab something, and they're sorted by type here. So, we got stone, wood, plants. These are mob drops, iron, and, various materials, and diamonds are down here. Redstone and redstone components for 2 rows. This is all sorts of nether, end stuff, prismarine, ice, and glowstone, and sea lanterns and stuff like that. And this is all the assorted stuff and stuff like that. And then over here we've got glass, concrete, and wool, and then there's just a couple of these right here, the glazed terracotta. I don't have any regular terracotta yet, and then I haven't utilized this one yet. I will probably cover it up with something. I don't quite have enough shulker boxes to cover everything up right now. And then this last section, this is my overflow. I haven't specified a spot for barrels yet, so that's the only item in my overflow right now. And then I actually ripped out most of the redstone behind all this. So there's just one dropper elevator, comes in, drops the items into the overflow. So anything that goes through there is just going to come down to the bottom and then fill up. And then everything over here, there's not even hoppers behind this. These are all the unsortable, unstackable items. So I got my shulker boxes full of tools that I set up a while ago. And, a shulker box full of elytra. And then these are potions. Both rows are potions, so they're organized by type. The sorter won't do that, so I have to do that manually. And these are all books, same thing. And then everything else that's just non-sortable stuff, all here. And then down below at the bottom of these, you'll notice there are some barrels. And that is because they will hold shulker boxes themselves. So here at Mob Drops, this one's got a bunch of shulker boxes full of gunpowder, and then I spread out some other gunpowder. Bunch of shulker boxes full of bone, and then I can if I just need a couple bone, or I can just grab a whole shulker box. And the same thing with blaze rods. And so most of these categories have something that I have a shulker box full of. Redstone. This is TNT, funny enough. And then we saw the sea lanterns and the glowstone and that kind of stuff. Some of them have 2, but most of them have at least 1. So it was convenient to have a barrel at the bottom. And you can't put chests down at the bottom. Chests won't open with shulker boxes underneath them. You can put them up top, but the barrels end up looking better because they're just like solid. So I went with that. So everything's all color coded, and it takes a little bit of getting used to what is what. But once I've gotten used to it, I know that these are redstone repeaters. These are comparators. These are redstone torches, which, by the way, I do now have a shulker box full of all of those things. I traded with my villagers. The clerics do redstone trades, so I got about 2 shulker boxes full of redstone that way, on top of AFKing a little bit to complete that. So yeah, the sorting system's all complete, and I've apparently been awake for more than a couple of days. I'd like to set up an ink farm in this episode, and I think it would help a lot if I have more sponges than I have right now. So I've got this guardian farm in my little book I marked here a long time ago, and there's one other that I marked in the past. So we're going to go to both of them, doing the same basic tactic I did last time. Alright, so just going to see if I can just break right in. Some TNT. I got slime blocks that I can place, and I can break without a pick or anything like that. They always take one. See, so I misplaced one here. So let's place this and get the heck out of here, because man, they are shooting me a lot. I didn't blow anything up. How strange. I mean, I blew that one block up. I guess I needed to place that differently. Can we just do it there? There we go. Alright. And we'll just break on in. What? I've never had this much trouble doing this. I'm going to run out of redstone this way. Alright, now we can see our way in. And we can clearly see that the Elder Guardian is there. There we go. There's one sponge, but I'm hoping there's a sponge room in here. So I'm going to go through and kill the other two guardians the same basic way. I'm just now realizing that I should have switched out of my elytra. That's why they're doing so much darn damage to me. Well, the third guardian is down nevertheless. Now I just got to wait out this mining fatigue. I do have a chest plate. It's probably a good idea to swap it. There we go. Of course, now I can't break this shulker box or my ender chest until the mining fatigue is gone. Alright, my mining fatigue just wore out, so I'm going to check these two edges right here. That's where my last one was. I don't think there's any here because I was just down below, and there's not a lot going on down there. I could kind of see where these rooms would be, and there was nothing there, so I might not have one, at least not in this location, but I will. Let me collect my stuff here, and I'll do a quick once around this thing and see if I can't find me a sponge room. I'm pretty sure I've been through this whole ocean monument and there is no sponge room to be found, so I don't think there is one. There's a chance I missed it, but I think I was pretty thorough. So looks like we're out of luck for this one. Move on to the next one. Alright, there's the second one. Let me just find somewhere to land. That's a little far away. Maybe I'll just swap my chest plate midair. Drink some potions. Alright, second monument down, and the mining fatigue has worn off. And I know that there's nothing over on this side, because I was down there, but I think there's a good chance there's a sponge room over on this side. See if we can find it. Oh, no. No sponge room here. Alright. I guess we'll go wandering around again, see if we can find one. Here's one. It's kind of small. There's not too many sponges in here. Looks like 20 or so. Not bad. Alright, looks like that's it for this one. So I got 32 sponges total. So I got 6 from the various Elder Guardians and 26 from that one room. Not too shabby. I'm not going to complain. I had 41 before, so nearly doubled. I think we're probably going to have close to enough sponges for what we need. So the next step is to identify a section of river that is suitable for this farm. I'm here at spawn, and I do not want to use this river right here for a number of reasons. And I actually don't want to build it anywhere close to this river, because if I do, I'll have to drain this river. Now, I might have to drain this river no matter what, just because the mob cap for squids is so small that even leaving a few squids here at spawn will probably hurt my rates quite a bit. So I might have to drain this. We'll see. We'll try it without, but I might have to drain this river. If I do, I've done a little bit of testing. It looks all right if I drain it and then cover it with ice. So I might have to do that. We'll find out. But this river is long and it goes for quite a distance. I don't want to put it anywhere near the ocean. It does eventually come near the ocean because squids can spawn in the ocean. So I need to stay at least 128 blocks from the ocean as well. But there's some sections here that look pretty nice. This is too close to the ocean here. This section I need 8 by 21. So there's a couple sections right here that look like they could work, and I don't think they're too close to spawn, because spawn's way over there. I just need to be 128 blocks away. So, largely, if it's out of view distance, I should be alright. So let me grab some glass and start marking where the biome, because just because there's water doesn't mean it's part of the biome. So we'll see what we can figure out as far as biomes go and see if any of these sections in this area are large enough. Finding a continuous river biome of that size is not as easy as it sounds. This white glass here represents anything that's not a river biome. And as you can see, sometimes it'll reach clear into the water, and there are some big swaths. This taiga biome here is especially invasive, coming out all the way into here. There's some sections over there. This is forest biome over here. And so a lot of this is unusable because I just couldn't quite get the size that I wanted. This area isn't big enough. And then I found this section here, which is big enough, but it's got these 3 blocks right here that are forest biomes. So no squids would spawn in those 3 spots, which isn't too bad. But I decided I would still keep looking because I still had some areas I wanted to check. And so I found one over here. So over here, I found one that is actually, it's 25 blocks long, longer than 21. Doesn't really help me, but it's long enough, and it's 8 blocks wide, and just barely. Taiga over here, forest over here, but everything within this 8 by 25 is all river. So this is exactly what I wanted. So this is going to be good enough. You can see my floating island, at least that's the sugarcane farm there, which might signify that we're a little bit close to the ocean. Let me see. It looks like we might be far enough away. I do have to drain all this river coming up to here. Hopefully I don't have to drain any ocean because that would be very, very difficult. So it looks like I can probably get away without draining it. It is 128 blocks from the spawning spot. From the AFK spot, and what I will do is I can make the AFK spot, it's 24 blocks away from this, so if I put the AFK spot in this direction, because it's got to be along one of the long sides, so it can be over there or it can be over there, and putting it 24 blocks in that direction gives me the greatest chance of being far enough away from the ocean, but I might want to actually check that. Alright, so right over here would be my AFK spot. It would actually be down on the ground, but that doesn't really matter for the coordinates I'm looking at. So I'm looking at the negative 493 and 463. And let's fly over to the ocean. What in here is, this is all forest, river, river, river. I wouldn't want to have to drain any of this, no matter what. So we'll call this spot right here. It looks like we're probably good enough, but let me do the math on it. Alright, I'll put the math on screen, but just the basic math tells me that I am more than 128 blocks in both directions, so there's no possible way I can be less than 128 blocks in the diagonal direction. Ends up being 230 blocks. So what might be cool to do is like build a dam or a bridge or something, like a bridge dam or something somewhere in this area to block off the water and then drain everything past that point. And then if we come here, this is my AFK spot. We saw how far away that was, and look at our old base. That is quite a bit further away, so I don't necessarily have to worry about draining that far away. Again, it's in spawn, so leaving squids there might be a problem. I might have to drain it no matter what. We'll see what kind of rates we get before making that kind of a decision. The next step is to do a bunch of draining, which is why I wanted all those sponges. So we got wall number 1 here, And I just kind of guessed at how far away it was, and then I checked to make sure that it was outside of the 128 block radius. So I'll probably have to doing a little bit more draining than I need to. And then there's another wall right there. So everything between, that one's hard to see because it was so small. It's just right there. Little sand wall right there. So everything in between here we need to drain. So that's a lot of draining that needs to happen. And then I checked the surrounding area. Fortunately, we got a lot of forest. These lakes don't matter. They're not river biomes. So there's no other rivers anywhere nearby. So I think the easiest way to do this is divide it off with sections with sand and then use the sponges to soak up the water in between the sand. I've drained all the water from this river all the way from both ends. Now I just have this giant mess to clean up. I think I may want to steal all this clay that's laying down here. This is probably going to be one of my best opportunities to grab a decent amount of it. Alright, I got everything all cleaned up now. There's no river anywhere in sight. This is the area I've marked off. And then here's the other end where it ends. So the next step is to come over here, and I got to dig down to y equals 42 underneath all of this glass here. Now that the digging's all done, the next step is to set up a whole bunch of nether portals. I believe this should be enough obsidian. So these go from y equals 45. So this block right here to y equals 63, which should actually be up here right at the glass level. So I'll have to remove the glass. I'm done with the glass anyways. It's just there to mark the position of everything. So this should be y equals 63. Yep, so that is. And then it's going to go all the way across like this. And the design I'm using is a design by Logical Geek Boy that he posted about a month ago. And I thought it was a really cool design. It uses nether portals to get the squids out of the overworld really, really quickly. And it seemed like a really cool design and quite a bit different and more interesting than a lot of the regular old squid farms. So I figured I wanted to try this out. I think it looks like it's actually going to be quite fast. So let's see how it works out. I just remembered that I'm making these too long because my river biome was 25 blocks long and a portal can only be 23 blocks long. And that's externally, so internally only 21 blocks. So I'll go from this side because I've already made this one. So we got 5, 10, 15, 21, and then the two ends. So right there, this will actually, well, I'll have to build up, so I want this one gone anyways. So that should be, I just want to double check and count, because like I don't want to have to do this again. Fortunately, I noticed this early. So we got 5, 10, 15, 21. Okay. Alright, I got 4 giant portals here, and they look pretty cool. And the next step is to set up all the spawning floors down there. Now it's time to light these portals up, and I'm pretty sure I do not want to go through them because I don't know what's going to be on the other side, and I want to establish the other side of the portal first. And it's going to be a little weird. I'm supposed to set up the water next, but it's going to be hard to jump through some of these gaps because they're only too high. I can't place blocks there. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to accidentally end up on the other side of these portals quite a few times. So I think it's probably going to be a good idea to establish the other side of the portal first and then set up all the water. Alright, so my AFK spot's going to be right here on this block right here, and I've marked the center point of that portal right there, and I've built a portal back here. This is for me to go back and forth through. That one's for the squids to go back and forth through. So now I just need to go into the nether and set up some perfectly aligned portals with these coordinates. Alright, looks like everything syncs up perfectly. little unfortunate that the one that I use is the one furthest away from everything else. That this is going to be all in a glass cage, but I can make it work. I can make a little tunnel or something like that. I definitely need to do something with the nether and clean up my nether hub, if you will. I will definitely do that in the very near future, but for now, this will do. Rather than trying to jump across the gap where the portals are, I found that it's probably better to just scaffolding up the side, and then I can just break the glass, place the water in each section, and then place the glass back when I'm done. Some water will flow out in the meantime, but it doesn't really hurt anything, and it's just a lot easier to do it this way, and I can get it all three sections, and I don't have to worry about trying to jump. And I have a friend here. How you doing? Alright, all the water's set up, so now we move on to the part that I've been dreading for a little while. I've got to wrangle up some cats and put them in boats inside the portal on the other side. I'm not sure how well this is going to work. I've got this cat that's been hanging out on my floating island for quite some time, but he's a black cat that I found near my witch hut, and I do not want to use him for this. I do still have one cat back here at my old base. One of them died. I had two at one point, but this one's still alive. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to get him there, though. Since he was super close to where I wanted to go, I didn't end up needing to fly with him. He just followed me around on a lead. So let's keep him safe in the nether here for now. And I'll deal with putting him in a boat in a little bit. I need 3 more of these guys, and I'm probably going to have to go steal them from villagers. We'll see how that goes. Well, I guess walking's the way to go. I could take a boat, but it's actually kind of a weird boat ride all the way around this whole island thing. I think it'd actually be a little bit faster to walk. So I guess that's what I gotta do. It doesn't seem to be any other cats in this village. So I'll take this one back and then go find another village. Well, I didn't have much luck at the nearby villages, but I knew my desert had like 4 villages in it. And I found 4 cats in just 2 villages. But this is kind of a long way from home. I do have this portal here at my mob farm, but it's kind of unprotected. So let's send them through and hope that at least 2 of them live. Come on, kitty. There we go. Alright, let's see how this goes. Again, I never really built any protection over here, so if we see the ghast, some of them could die. And they're actually kind of clustered together back there, so they could all die in one shot. So here's hoping. Alright, looks like I got them all safely over here. I'm going to want to build a protected area and maybe get rid of this lava over here. Alright, I think I got everything set up here. And I'm pretty sure these cats will follow me up this scaffolding. So if I release this guy, and I will definitely use a lasso anyways. There we go. And then I just need to get him into this boat. Come on. You can do it. Is he not going to follow me up to the... Oh, man. You don't have to make this more complicated than it already is. Alright, looks like he's following me up some stairs instead. Come on. Now get up. There we go. Oh, he just hopped right in the boat. I should be able to break all of this around here. Ooh, he's a little off center there. I don't know if I can fix that. It's probably close enough. I just need him to block the portal. So then I can come up here and place some temporary blocks there and do it again with the next cat. So I was not paying attention and I got all these done, but they're in the wrong portal. They're supposed to go in this portal. So now I got to fix that. Alright, I've got all 4 cats in the right portal now. And so now I can rebuild these 2 portals and light them up and do a bunch of cleanup. Is that lit? Yep, that's lit. And these cats are just to keep the squids from staying in the portal frame. So basically, it just immediately pushes them out. And I got to set up some hoppers down here and a collection area. And then I'm basically done. This farm's basically done now. Alright, everything's all set up now. I got a collection area down there. This is my portal that I go through, and there's some ladders that can come down here and grab at the collection area. I will probably change this. I need to see how fast this thing is in the first place. But then you can come up here. I got a tunnel that leads to my regular nether tunnel. Nice and safe here. So here's a way I can get here. And then my AFK area is through there. And it's worth adding, by the way, that I did manage to keep all of the cats alive. So these two guys right here, including the jelly cat, will be coming back home with me very shortly. But before that, let's go into the AFK spot and test this out for a little bit and see how fast it really is. Alright, I've been AFK for about 30 minutes, so let's pop on through this portal and see what kind of ink we got, see what kind of output we're looking at here. Alright, there's a whole bunch of squids down here dying. That's a good sign. Holy cow. Alright, that's 30 minutes. I got almost 2 shulker boxes full. So that means a shulker box loader is the best option because these come through pretty fast. I'm going to want a decent number of shulker boxes, and, you know, if it only takes 15 minutes to fill a shulker box, then, yeah. Alright, so let me set up a shulker box loader for this thing. Alright, I changed my mind because I thought about it, and I realized there's basically no reason I can think of that I would ever need more than 4 shulker boxes full of ink sacs. And if I do, I can always just come back AFK for a little over an hour, and it'll fill 4 shulker boxes all over again. I mean, there's just no reason to make it any more complicated than it needs to be. So I just have hoppers pointing into these 4 shulker boxes, and I think this will be sufficient. I can always come back and change that if for some reason I need just tons and tons of ink sacs, but I don't foresee this. I think this is probably already more than I need, at least for a long time to come. Alright, now let's see if we can get these 2 cats to go up this water elevator here. I wonder if they'll just follow me and or teleport once I'm up there. Let's find out. There we go. Awesome. I've ran over time just a little bit for this episode, so I'm going to end the episode there. So thank you very much for watching. You guys have a good night.